Decades before kids and adults got lost in videos on smartphones, they used to get lost in images through one of these. Welcome to the world of Viewmaster.
Collector guys.
Steeped in nostalgia, durable and mass-produced, readily available and reasonably priced, not to mention small and easy to store. Viewmaster viewers and reels just might be the perfect collectible. So how did this simple yet enduring source of entertainment get its start? The story of Viewmaster begins all the way back in 1938 in the woods of Oregon. That's when Harold Graves, president of Sawyer's Photographic Services, was out taking some wildlife pictures. That's when he came across William Gruber. Now, William Gruber had a setup where he had two cameras mounted on one tripod because he had an idea. And that was to come up with the world's first 3D viewer using color pictures. Graves and Gruber quickly formed a partnership and the Viewmaster was born. Now, the Viewmaster was not the first 3D viewer. Stereoscopes, which is what a Viewmaster basically is, were invented in the 1800s where they were a very popular form of parlor entertainment. Much like the Ouija board. Watch our YouTube video on that when you get a chance. Here is a stereoscope probably from the early 1900s. A handheld device made out of wood and metal that you would look through at a card that had two side-by-side, mostly black and white images on it. To change pictures, you would have to remove the card from the viewer and replace it one at a time. Viewmaster changed all of that. No more black and white pictures viewed one at a time. The images now were in color, using the newly released Kodachrome transparent film from Kodak. Each reel had 7 different images on it, and to change, all you had to do was click. Creating this 3D effect looks like magic. It's called stereo imaging, and though it's not magic, it is a trick. 2 images side by side, but slightly different, creating a right eye view and a left eye view. When viewed together, it actually tricks your brain into seeing them in 3D. The world got its first look at the amazing Viewmaster during the 1939 World's Fair in New York City and the 1940 Golden Gate Exposition in San Francisco, where it was sold as a souvenir. In World War II, the U.S. military saw an opportunity to use this new educational tool to train GIs, purchasing tens of thousands of viewers and millions of reels. This particular reel was used by the Bureau of Naval Personnel to train servicemen on how to identify how far an enemy ship was and at what angle they would have to shoot to destroy the target. The viewers were constantly being updated and improved, providing a wide range of styles to collect. Here are the ones I have. A Model B. It was the second and the last version to use the clamshell design. It was also the very first to be made out of bakelite, making it much more durable than the Model A. The Model B was produced between 1944 and 1947. The Model C. It's the very first version where the reel was inserted at the top. Also made from bakelite, it was very durable and very popular, making these easy to find and very reasonably priced today. This was made between 1946 and 1955. The Model E. Featuring this classic mid-century look. The Model E was also very popular and is still easy to find. It was produced between 1955 and 1961. The lighted Model F. This was the last viewer to be made out of bakelite. To turn on the light, you just push the bar on top. This viewer was produced between 1959 and 1966. The Model G. This viewer is the one a lot of us remember. It was produced for a very long time, from 1959 until 1977. This red, white, and blue version celebrated the 1976 bicentennial. The lighted Model H. I have had this viewer since the 60s. Still looks brand new. Like the Model F, the light came on when you push down the bar on top. This model was produced between 1966 and 1981. This is a Model M, known also as the push-button viewer. This viewer was definitely unique, but not one of my favorites. It was produced from 1986 until 1990. And here is a Fisher-Price Model O. This one changed the way you would load the reel, putting it flat on top. Again, not one of my favorites. This was produced in the early 2000s. And then there was the talking Viewmaster. Here is the GAF version. As you can see here, the reel actually had a small record attached to it. I can't get this one to work, but if memory serves me right, the quality of the audio left a lot to be desired. Of course, what good are the viewers if you don't have the awesome reels to watch in them? And believe me, there are many to choose from. They were originally sold as singles. In the early 1950s, Sawyers began grouping them into 3-packs. These are the ones I remember the best, consisting of 3 reels, a cool booklet, and a catalog so I could plan my next purchase. In the early 80s, Viewmaster stopped packaging the reels in 3-packs with the booklet and instead started selling them in blister packs like these. The Viewmaster wasn't originally intended to be a toy. They were alternatives to postcards. The early topics were scenic shots from national parks and travel destinations all over the world. These reels were often sold as souvenirs. So you take a trip to Yellowstone and you want a picture of a bear, but you don't see a bear the whole time you're there. So what do? You go to the gift shop and buy a Viewmaster reel. That way you can still come back and use one of the many projectors that Viewmaster made and still torture your friends with pictures from your trip. Hey, look at that bear! Viewmaster also produced reels documenting historic events. One very popular set was this 3-reel pack featuring the 1953 coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. So when did Viewmaster become a toy? That probably happened in the late 1940s when Sawyers expanded from producing scenic reels for adults and started making reels specifically for kids. Many of the topics of these early reels were fairy tales and other stories that were part of the public domain. Their incredible art department produced beautiful models and tabletop dioramas that would then be shot in 3D. Through the years, Viewmaster continued to create amazing visuals, whether it was 3-dimensional modeling or in this case a combination of both real models and drawings. Awesome. In 1951, Sawyers bought out TrueView, their biggest competitor. This is important because with the purchase of TrueView came the lucrative licensing deal with Disney, giving Sawyers the right to produce Viewmaster reels featuring all the popular Disney animated characters, television shows, theme parks, and films. Over the years, cartoons and TV shows continued to be popular subjects for their reels. If it was part of pop culture, Viewmaster produced it. In fact, here is one of my prized collectibles, a Kiss Pack, still sealed in its original shrink wrap. And the great thing is, you can store a viewer and a lot of reels in a small space. Viewmaster produced custom storage boxes for your reels and your viewer like this, or you could do what my mom did. Make a custom box with my initial right there on top, which I still have 50 years later. In 1999, the Viewmaster was inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame. Hallmark made it one of their famous Christmas tree ornaments. This mini version comes with 3 reels and actually works. Viewmaster even teamed up with Barbie when a mini version of it showed up as part of the Cool Collecting Barbie set. And like the Hallmark ornament, it really works. Today, Viewmaster is owned by Mattel and has morphed into a virtual reality viewer that uses apps on your phone. But don't worry, you can still buy the good old-fashioned version. The great thing for anyone interested in collecting Viewmaster viewers and reels is that there are a lot of them out there, and for the most part, they are very reasonably priced. And those old versions made of Bakelite, very durable and easy to find. Plus, you can find all sorts of Viewmaster information on the web. Great websites like viewmaster.co.uk and 3dstereo.com. The viewers have changed a lot over the years, but one thing hasn't, and that's the reels. The same reels that you bought in the 1940s can be used in viewers made today. Viewmaster, hours of entertainment, and all you need is light. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe to see more great Collector Guy videos, and always remember, surround yourself with what you love.